What is the most worrying thing for you about this report?
I think the most worrying thing is that every aspect of the impacts of climate change on the ocean and the cryosphere are accelerating.
And it talks a lot about the impact of climate change on the Earth's frozen regions, and that is described to be particularly of concern because that ice, of course, will help contribute to rising sea levels, but also it will have a great impact on the way the Earth is put together, won't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we're now looking at over a metre of sea rise by the end of the century, and one of the new things in this report is that sea level rise is now mostly coming from the melting of sea ice, or ice sheets, not from thermal expansion of the oceans.
And is this all a result of climate change?
It's mainly the result of climate change, yes.
And what can be done about that? Because we saw world leaders get together on Monday, didn't we? And they did make some pledges to be carbon neutral, within a few decades, kind of vague promises and vague pledges that we've heard before. Are we headed for a fish-free future?
Well, the IPCC panel this morning during the press conference gave a very, very clear message that we need immediate and significant cuts in emissions, and we certainly need to be looking at zero emissions by 2050. We've had pledges from some countries that they'll aim to do that, but many others have not made such promises. And in fact, in some cases, countries are saying they need to increase their emissions to drive economic growth.
And what about the way we manage the oceans and we manage the resources of the oceans? I mean, overfishing, for example. There's been a lot of talk in recent years about sustainable fishing. Is that having an impact at all, or are we doomed there as well?
Absolutely. Overfishing and the destructive effects of fishing are still currently the #1 cause of extinction in the ocean. And what was pointed out today in this new report is that climate change is going to decrease the amount of fish that are there to be caught for human consumption. So much improved fisheries management and improved governance of the ocean and use of tools like marine protected areas are going to be critical tools in climate adaptation in terms of securing the supply of seafood for the future.
All right, Alec Rogers, thank you very much.